ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for week number 10. It's about to kick off in like an hour and 10 minutes. We'll have the Broncos and the Raiders matching up, an AFC West rivalry there at Mile High. We're going to be previewing all the games. I'm going to be talking the MVP race in the NFL. Half of the season is in the books. We got the other half of the regular season to go, plus the NFL playoffs. It's amazing and also disheartening at the same time because I want more football, but luckily we still got it. So, I'm excited. You better get riled up. Get ready. It's time. I'm excited to do it. It's free refill episode 18. Omar Khan is in the box of shame because he's ashamed. You know why? Because there is no movement. No movement at the trade deadline. Needing a wide receiver too. Probably needing to shore up the back end, and he does absolutely nothing. It's a darn shame. But I still love you, Omar. You just have to sit in the box of shame for the next hour. So, as of right now, didn't even attempt for Jalen Waddle. Rashid Shaheed got moved. You couldn't make an offer. You let Seattle beat you. Come on, do better. Regardless, it is where it is. And for the rest of the night, I gotta talk the big games, the big kahunas. What are we expecting? What are we anticipating from the teams, from the matchups coming in to week number 10? And it all starts, it'll all culminate, well, I guess begins tonight between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Let's get right over to ranking these matchups, seeing where things are going to go, how are things going to line up. First, let's start with tonight. The Denver Broncos face off against the Las Vegas Raiders on Thursday Night Football. Couple interesting things to note in this game. Number one, the Raiders have just traded away Jacoby Myers. They have traded him to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe it was for a 4th and a 6th round pick. So, if you're Jacksonville, you get an upgrade at wide receiver. You get another piece to the puzzle to pair with Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter when Travis Hunter comes back. However, that is not the big headline for the Raiders. The big headline is their offense going to be able to move against the Denver Broncos defense? And for the Denver Broncos offense, are they going to be able to score consistently within the first 3 quarters? Because the fourth quarter, and I was looking at this, the percentage of their points that come in the fourth quarter, you would think like a team that's evenly good, we know probably like 25% in each quarter, like evenly good in all their quarters. Denver scores over 42% of their points in the fourth quarter, which is an insane standard. It's an insane metric, right? Against a team that has a struggling defense like the Raiders, the Broncos should find more offense in those quarters. This is the perfect opportunity for them to be able to do so. As for Denver, in terms of what we're looking at moving forward, specifically with defensively, how are they going to handle Brock Bowers and the Raiders? We just saw Brock Bowers come back from his bone bruise, come back from his knee injury, and literally put up the best performance anyone had seen, at least fantasy-wise, the entire year. So, Brock Bowers is clearly the main focal point of this offense for the Raiders. They need to find ways to get him involved. They need to attack the Broncos in the moments when they play zone coverage. And it will depend on, with Patrick Surtain in the lineup, how their defense is going to function. I believe Patrick Surtain should be available tonight, but in terms of what we're seeing in the long run for him, I believe he should be available. I'm not sure, though. Let me double check. Surtain, are you playing, dude? Come on. Oh, yeah. So Patrick Surtain's not going to be playing tonight on Thursday Night Football. He's ruled out with a pectoral injury. So for me, what Denver's going to do when they have Patrick Surtain on the field, they play significantly more man coverage. When he's not there, they have to rely more on their zone coverage because Surtain just can't remove somebody from the game. So when we're looking at How are the Raiders going to combat that? Very simple. Anytime it's zone coverage, Brock Bowers needs to be attacking. Brock Bowers needs to be making his movements. Brock Bowers needs to get going. And from what I am seeing, moving throughout this game, that's how the Raiders are going to have to attack Denver if they want to have a shot in this one. For the Broncos, this could very quickly be a trap game just because it's the Raiders. You don't expect them to be good. For me, in what I expect this game to be, this is a hot take, but I truly do believe this is a game that can go either way for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a division rivalry, and it is the first division rivalry of this year between these two teams. The Raiders are desperate for a win. Denver's on a hot streak. The Raiders would love to pull off an upset, get some momentum going to at least try for a strong second half of the season. And this would be the way to do it. Taking advantage of a Denver team without one of their best defensive cornerstones and being able to attack it with one of their best offensive pieces. I think that's something that can be done if Brock Bowers is able to move. If Brock Bowers is able to get open, get some quick passes, just get moving up the field. Because once he's great catching the ball, but when he gets the ball in his hands, it's a different story. And we've seen what the Raiders, we saw it last week against Jacksonville, what Brock Bowers can do when he is fully healthy. He is a stud. And in a matchup where Denver is missing their best cover guy, this should be a big opportunity for him and the Raiders offense to potentially win. I still have Denver. I think Denver beats the Raiders. I think it's closer than a lot of people think. But I do think Denver will be able to handle business at home against their division rival. I think they should be able to handle it. They'll get it locked up, and they'll get it figured out. Moving along to the Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts, who will play another. We got another international game this week. It is in Berlin, Germany, as I believe Michael Penix should be back. He was back last week for New England, so he will be starting this game. And Daniel Jones will look to shake off what was a pretty gross performance in Pittsburgh. I know people say he played better than what he was. I watched the entire game. I beg to differ. From what I'm seeing, the key in this game for Indianapolis, if they want to get back on track, it's pretty obvious. You got to be up, help protect Daniel Jones. And part of what shocked me when they did play Pittsburgh was they didn't help their tackles at all against Alex Highsmith or TJ Watt. There was very little chip help from either Warren or Taylor out of the backfield. That was kind of shocking to me. I was shocked Indy felt that confident in their tackles. I guess it's not bad to have confidence in your offensive tackles, but in those kind of situations, when you're going up against those elite pass rushers, even though they had struggled defensively the last couple of weeks, you need to be helping out your tackles on the chip game against TJ Watt and against Alex Highsmith. It's just inexcusable. Now they play an Atlanta team who maybe their pass rushers aren't on that level, but they're young guys. They've been underrated the whole year in terms of their defense. Their defense actually had a couple of impressive games. We saw them play well against Buffalo. They were better in the second half against New England. Now they play Indianapolis, and it really depends. Is Indy going to make those proper adjustments? Are they going to get that chip help against those young Falcons pass rushers like Pierce? Like, how are they going to stop the Falcons up front? And of course, the biggest headline in this game is going to be Sauce Gardner's debut for Indianapolis. He cleared concussion protocol. This will be his first game as a Colt in Berlin, Germany. What's he going to look like? How are they going to utilize him in his first game? Is he going to be shadowing Drake London in this matchup? How is that going to play out? My guess is, I'm going to guess here, I could be totally wrong, but my guess is that we're going to see a fairly limited snap count. I think he plays a decent chunk of the game. Like, I believe he'll play 60% of the game, but to expect it 80 plus or more, I think is a lot for a guy coming into the system right away. And to I understand the Jets were on bye when he was traded, but it's going to be a little bit of there's going to be some weird recovery time, because again, not only are you on bye, now all of a sudden you haven't played football in 2 weeks and you're on a different team. So I think just to start out, ease Sauce Gardner into this defense and overall come up with a game plan. In terms of how I feel about this game, I don't think it's a great matchup just because I wonder where Atlanta is. But I do like it. I gotta say, I like the concept of this matchup. I think when Sauce Gardner plays, and I presume when he plays, he will be covering Drake London. I think that's going to be a very fun wide receiver cornerback matchup. That should be very entertaining to see. I'm pretty sure they were from the same draft class too. So you're looking at the draft class kind of similarly. That should be. I might feel. I think that's correct. I think they are the same draft class. So. What was Drake? Yeah, Drake London draft class. I believe they are the same draft class. Don't quote me, but I'm trying to just remember. I'm fairly confident that was the case, unless I'm totally wrong. Maybe because I remember like Garrett Wilson, and that was my thought. No, they were not. Oh yeah, they were. I'm tripping. It was Sauce, and it was Drake London. Yeah, I'm not crazy. That's what I thought. But that should be fun. Yeah, draft class teammates going to be each other, 2 top 10 picks, so should be entertaining. I'm going to go with the Colts in a close one. Just based on, I think Daniel Jones will bounce back. I think Shane Steichen will make the proper adjustments, understanding he's a smart offensive mind. He's one of the underrated offensive head coaches, and this season is clearly proving it. They're going to make the proper adjustments to give their tackles some more help on the outside regardless of who the pass rushers are, because clearly, like, they know what happened last week just can't happen again. You cannot let that happen back-to-back weeks. I think I'm going to go with the Colts. And still look fairly close one. I think Michael Penix and the Falcons will keep it close, but the Colts will have the proper game plan, and they will figure it out. Before I continue, let's get some of these teams out of the way. I think Kansas City, they're on bye, as well as Dallas. So, and while we're on the subject of Dallas, I wanted to say my condolences to the Nealand family. For those who don't know, Marshawn Nealand was tragically passed away earlier this week. I believe it was. I think it was today. I've been blending the days, but I believe it was today that Marshawn it was Thursday morning. Marshawn was found to have committed suicide after a long police chase, and this is just a reminder. I'll just say it now that if you're having those kind of thoughts, know that people are there in your life, whether you think they are, you think they aren't. People are there that are here to help you, that want to see you get through that difficult time, and know that people are there in your life that want to keep you around and are there for you and want to hear what's going on in your life. So if you're feeling something, don't be afraid to say it, because then that averts tragedy. And this was tragic to see happen, and the stigma of it existing still is very strong, and it's very difficult for people to talk about it and get off their chest, and know that there are people out there there are people out there that you can talk to, and if not, those people are findable. You can find that help that you need. That being said, once again, my thoughts and prayers and condolences are with the Nealand family and the Dallas Cowboys as well, and frankly the whole league. That's just really tragic to see someone who's so young, who's so talented, who, from what I heard about, was an incredible person and just a beam of positive light in the people's lives that he was around. For Marshawn, it's tragic to see that happen. So, especially when you're similar age, it's just if someone's so young, it's just very scary. But once again, my condolences. I'm going to move on. I'm going to try to get back on track here. The Tennessee Titans, I believe, are also on bye. No Cam Ward this week. I'm not seeing the Tennessee Titans, and we have one more team here. If I can find them, I want to say it's the New York Giants. Doesn't sound right, though. Hang on. Bears play for Niners play. Eagles play. It's not Miami, is it? No way. It might be Miami. Let me see. It's on bye for a week. See, this is the thing. Like, I look at all those matchups, and then it's the Bengals who are on bye, not New York. Who do the Giants play then? Would I have the Giants? Who the heck does New York play? Wait, you're kidding, right? That's like Cap. Yeah, it is the Bengals because I have Joe Flacco on my fantasy lineup, or I had him in my fantasy lineup and I take him out. It's the Bears. They play the Bears. Oh gosh, I'm like tripping. All right, we're moving off. Those are the teams that are on by this week. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We get the toilet bowl matchup of the week. As if it was not obvious enough, it's going to be Browns Jets. This is a disaster class. I mean, first of all, the Jets, they're down now two of their better defensive players in Quinnen Williams and in Sauce Gardner. So their defense just gets worse by default, right? You are seeing Dylan Gabriel match up against Justin Fields. That is not exactly the ideal, enticing quarterback matchup. I don't even know if Garrett Wilson is good to go for this game. I have a feeling that he's not. I heard Garrett Wilson talking about the trades and what had happened and just saying that he trusts the vision moving forward for the New York Jets. I get that, and I think that's probably the right thing to say. And I was talking about this with Taft 2 days ago. In regards to this, is it possible that the New York Jets already know that Aaron Glenn's not the guy? Because it feels very suspicious that they would do this. And the idea, and I don't know, I feel you have to feel very confident, you either feel incredibly confident in Aaron Glenn, or there's a candidate that you believe in the offseason that you're very confident you'll be able to get by getting them all these draft picks, and then basically saying, you've got the next 2 years, you're going to have these draft picks, build us the culture build us the winning culture. Obviously, it's going to be bad for the 2025 New York Jets because they're just going to lose a lot, and they're going to be very painful to watch. However, as they continue forward, right, into 2026 and into 2027, those draft picks are going to be good. That being said, and I need to emphasize this because I think it is very important to remind you all of Jets' first-round pick history. So, as much as I am impressed with the draft picks and everything they have put together, they have this amazing draft slate. Do you want to know the last time that the Jets had 2 first-round picks one year and 3 first-round picks the next year? It was literally in the last 5 years. And we're back here again. So this understanding that, oh my gosh, they have all this capital and these draft picks, guess what? We've seen this, we've played this game before. This game was played before. 2021, the Jets selected Zach Wilson and Elijah Vera Tucker, and the following year got Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. All 3 of those guys in that second class, by the way, very good players. Sauce was an All-Pro. Sauce was an All-Pro. Garrett Wilson is a young wide receiver who's great when he has good quarterback play, which he hasn't. And Jermaine Johnson. So it makes it clear that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the picks. The picks do not matter. I know people want to get hyped and get excited for the New York Jets, but the picks just don't matter because if the culture doesn't change and a quarterback is not found that can play well, you could have a bunch of first-round picks and it won't matter. But we've seen this before, and the only way it plays out differently than last time is if an actual culture is built and the correct quarterback is selected. If not, we're just going to watch the same song and dance we've watched from 2021 to 2025 now. And then we'll be having this same conversation in 6 years where the Jets trade that talented player to get draft picks. That's where we're at. New York has played this game before, so if they want to do it right this time, they need to make sure that a culture is built. Because if it isn't, then it will not matter who they get with those picks. It just won't. That being said, for this week against Cleveland, the Jets and the Browns are facing off. It's going to be a disaster. That's my take. It's not going to be a well-played game. I think it's going to be a sloppy game. It's got a chance to be great, but it's got like a 0.02% chance. Like, that's the kind of chance it has. These are just, it's not a good quarterback matchup. It's a bad Jets defense. It's, I guess, a good Browns defense, but nothing on the Jets feels very exciting right now. And in regards to Garrett Wilson playing, I mean, do we know the status of him? Is he finally going to be back in the lineup ready to go? As of right now, I'm looking. He showed up to the injury report this week. He was limited. Did not have a game status on their latest report. So it looks like he's going to be good to go. We'll see where that continues. But yeah, that's going to be the toilet bowl match of the week. It's going to be terrible. What else do you want from me? It's going to be a bad game. It just is. Next up on the docket. Oh my gosh, we got to start getting through these games. Saints-Panthers. Congratulations. We have entered the Battle of Mid. Now, again, here's my thing. I don't think this Panthers team is good. I know it's 5-4. I don't care. I think this team is only 5-4 solely because of Rico Dowdle. That's it. It is Rico Dowdle, or it's Rico way or the highway, right? That's like the most exciting part of this team. I honestly haven't been able to see enough that's more exciting. Like Tedero McMillan has been solid, but not in crazy headline worthy. Bryce Young has been very, very average. It's a 5-4 ball club. It's not incredibly strong. I mean, there's limitations to this. It's just not an incredibly great team. And they play a bad team, keep that in mind. But I don't think the Panthers are that good. I know they beat Green Bay. Green Bay was awful in the red zone. That's mostly why Green Bay lost. They couldn't cash in on when they were in the red zone. I don't think Bryce Love, I combined the two. I don't think Bryce Young played particularly well. I don't think he necessarily even outplayed Jordan Love. Both quarterbacks didn't play well in this game. In that game last week. If you're the Saints, I don't think Tyler Shuck or Shao is going to really do much for you either. The reality is Carolina's not an incredibly strong team. They might get to 6-4 and win this game, but I still won't be able to take them seriously. I don't buy them as a playoff team or remotely a contender for the Super Bowl, much less, I think, win a playoff game. They're making the right improvements. They're winning football games, which is, at the end of the day, all you can ask for a team that has struggled for so long. But I still don't buy into what's going on there. I think they still have a lot of massive holes that still haven't been fully addressed. And maybe it speaks to Dave Canales. He's building a winning culture. What more can you say? And that's what you need to do. But I still have question marks about what they're going to be able to do this season. That being said, they're probably beating the Saints. And then as for the toilet bowl matchup, gosh, I'm going to go Cleveland. And the reason why is just because the Browns defense is better than the Jets defense. I don't know what to make of the Jets defense after it loses two of its biggest players. And it was already a unit that kind of had been struggling at times. And I don't know what to make of this offense, especially without Garrett Wilson. I think it's just going. I understand what they were able to do against Cincinnati, but everyone's able to do that against Cincinnati. Cleveland's a different monster. And we'll see again. Garrett Wilson, if he's healthy, maybe it's a little different. But I think Cleveland just matches up well with the Jets. I think they would win that matchup. Next on the docket, I believe we've got one of the... I like this matchup. I really do. I like Patriots-Bucks. That's honestly... hold on. I'm only going to put in one this time, because I don't think there's only real one toilet bowl, but I think there are a couple... No, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think this game is the game of the week. Patriots-Bucks. Drake May versus Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks are coming off bye, so hopefully Emeka Egbuka can get right from his hamstring injury. We might see Bucky Irving this time around. Again, it's Thursday, so the injury report might change as of right now. Drake May, if you don't think he's the favorite, fine. But to say he's not in the conversation is blasphemous. Seeing what New England is doing right now, and of course Baker, another MVP candidate as well, to see what both these teams are doing. For New England, it's the shock of the way this team is winning. It's not the fact that they're winning. People thought they could be a dark horse, but people thought it would be a good defense and a running game. This team can win shootouts with, their best player is kind of an older Stephon Diggs, he's not entirely washed, but he's only really had one standout performance this year. And like Kayshon Boutte's been making plays, right? They're just making. Drake May looks great especially when you consider the collection of wide receivers there. You wouldn't consider it one of the more impressive units in the league, and yet they are 7-2. Now, have they played some maybe less than strong competition? Sure, but you play who's on your schedule. New England had a last place schedule to start the year, so they were gonna play some bad teams. Mike Vrabel has turned it around incredibly quickly. They won 4 games with Gerard Mayo last year. They're already at 7 with Vrabel. Vrabel is clearly a winning head coach. As much as I hate to say it, the New England Patriots are back. They're going to have one of their tougher tests this year. They go on the road to play the Bucs, who are now coming off their bye week and should be fully healthy. We've seen Baker Mayfield play as well at an MVP level, so that's incredibly exciting to see. And to think the way the Bucs are winning games. Not everyone's fully healthy. Not everyone's been able to be out on the field at times. They're down on Mike Evans. Bucky Irving's missed time. Chris Godwin's missed time. And yet, Baker Mayfield's still finding ways to win games. I think this is going to be a game of the week. I think we're going to see an incredible quarterback matchup. I wouldn't doubt if this is like a 35-34 type shootout game. I like Tampa in this one by a hair, simply because they're at home. They're coming off a bye week. They're going to be well rested. And for New England, they haven't played a team. They played Buffalo, and they took them seriously in that division rival battle. But I think for Tampa, I think this is a Bucs win. I think the Bucs are going to cut New England's win streak here by a hair. I think just on the road, not going to be the easiest matchup. I like Tampa in this one to get the win coming off the bye. But I think that is 100% your game of the week right there. Bucs, Patriots. Lock it in. Next on the docket, Ravens, Vikings. Now, if you asked me when the Ravens were 1-5 and there was no J.J. McCarthy, I would say this is probably a battle of the mid-game. However, I've always felt that this game is usually entertaining. And maybe I just have bias from that one big snow game where there were a bunch of back and forth scores in the last 3 minutes, whether it was special teams or Dennis Pitta or Cordell Patterson in the snow making plays. Baltimore and Minnesota, I think, is going to be a great matchup. I saw something somewhere where apparently this matchup, whenever this game happens, it determines if the Vikings get to the NFC Championship or if the coach gets fired. Now, in this case, neither of those things are going to happen, in my opinion. I just don't think that's going to repeat history. But hey, maybe I'll be proven wrong later. J.J. McCarthy it fascinates me for a couple reasons. Number one, I think as much as people dog on him, that he gets a lot of unwarranted hate when you consider where he is basically this is a rookie year for him, right? He's played 3 games total. He's won 2 of them. And yet, by the way, against divisional opponents. Against divisional opponent Bears and divisional opponent Lions. That's pretty impressive for, the equivalent of a rookie, right? Now they come home, they'll play the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, little purple matchup going on. So in terms of Minnesota, I like JJ. He's still in this age where a lot of the stuff for him is on script. So the stuff that is, Kevin O'Connell's giving him the play saying, this is your first read, if not run type of thing. That offense he's been very effective in. I think he's going to need to continue to develop as the season progresses, and you'll see those rookie mistakes. I wouldn't doubt it, especially playing against veteran defenders like Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey. I wouldn't doubt if JJ struggles in this one. I think this should be a good matchup, though. I really do. I think between the Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens, Derrick Henry might feast in this game. We'll see. I'm interested to see the continuation of Lamar Jackson. Lamar just picked up right where he left off against Miami. We'll see what the Vikings also, by the way, one key thing to know about, I think, why they were able to beat Detroit the way they did, having Andrew Van Ginkel back in the starting lineup, it changes how the Vikings play defense. It makes them a lot more aggressive. It means they don't have to blitz nearly as much to get pressure. Van Ginkel's always been an instinctive playmaker. He's a great edge rusher. He bats down passes. He makes explosive plays. He did that all last year. And now that he's back healthy for the Vikings defense, the Vikings will be overall a better unit defensively and make it easier on their corners in the back end. We got Marcus in the chat. Just reading that. Yo, Marcus, what is up? How we doing? Let me read what you got here. Ravens versus Vikings, like watching two special ed kids fighting, knowing they're just going to be a mid-fight with two inept fighters. Maybe that's the style it goes. But with Lamar Jackson being back and with J.J. McCarthy being in the lineup, I think there's more potential here in this matchup than a lot of people see. I think it's actually going to be a great matchup. I've seen this matchup be good before. Back in 2013, 12 years ago, I have faith. I have the utmost faith that this game will be entertaining. That's just how I feel. But we'll see how it goes. I have the Ravens winning. I think Lamar Jackson is going to get only going to be healthier, only going to keep getting his groove on. I think they're going to win against the Minnesota Vikings this coming Sunday. That's my take there. Moving along from the purple matchup, it is time for what's going to be a blowout. The blowout matchup is Bills-Dolphins. Bills are gonna crap on them. They crapped on Carolina a couple weeks ago. They're coming off the win against Kansas City. They want to keep going. Miami doesn't stand a chance. I mean, I know they got extra rest from Baltimore, but this team is just... They trade away Jalen Phillips. So Jalen Phillips in Philadelphia. Absolute highway robbery by the Eagles again, getting a decent pass rusher for only a third rounder. And, I mean, so Miami's defense get worse. Buffalo's offense still very good. James Cook's probably going to go off. Josh Allen's probably going to go off. This Miami team is chalked. I know they might want to play for Mike McDaniel. It doesn't matter. It's bad all around. And honestly, Omar Khan, I'm a little annoyed he didn't try for Jalen Waddle. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if they gave up Jalen Phillips for a third, you may have been able to get Waddle for like a second. I don't, like... And I'd be okay with that. Waddle and DK would be a good combo. Calvin Austin out of the slot. Darnell Washington at wherever. It doesn't matter where he's lined up. The dude's 6'7", 300 pounds. He's going to cook. Like, it's not going to happen. Okay? Buffalo's going to slaughter Miami. I wouldn't doubt if it's like 31-0 at halftime. That's what it should be. I know it's a division rival. Doesn't matter. Ain't no way Tua's going to keep up with Josh Allen. Just ain't no way. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Not this time. Buffalo's going to win. Buffalo's going to win. Buffalo's going to win in blowout style. Giants-Bears now. That's a little different. Could this... Now this is... Giants-Bears. Who hosts? Bears, right? Bears are hosting that one? That could go either way. Could go either way for the Giants or Bears. I might have to put that in there. I'd be like, yeah, the Giants and Bears, it could go either way. You know, Caleb Williams might put up, 40 points or 4 points. You know, you just never really know. Well, I guess you can't put up 4. You'd put up, 6. 40 or 6, you know? Jay is in the building. What is going on, Jay? Appreciate it for popping out. Bills Dolphins is like that jock on steroids beating up on the nicest kid with Down syndrome. It's going to be sad. You know, I know Tua seems nice, but since he's gotten CTE, I don't know. He's been way more outspoken. Like, I've never seen Tua talk the way he's talked about the locker room until this season, and it might be the CTE, honestly. And speaking of CTE, I don't know if you guys heard, Antonio Brown has been now, they were hunting him down, I guess, in Dubai for the last 4.5 months, but they've hunted him down. He's being charged for attempted murder for those gunshots outside. I don't know where it was. I wanted to say it was outside like a venue or something. I don't know where. I don't remember where exactly it was. But they were hunting him down. They were looking to get him, and they've got him. They've got him under arrest for attempted murder. So, you know, maybe Antonio just needs to team up with Tua, and it's just an entire CTE team. Maybe they get the whole squad together, get Cam Skadbu on that roster too. Just get everybody who has it, and just let them go to town and let them run free and run wild. But back to the Giants and the Bears. What Caleb Williams and the Bears did to the Cincinnati Bengals is still one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I'm obviously saying that as a Steelers fan. But it was just so funny to see them lose that game the way they did. As for the New York Giants, it is very awful to see all their players constantly get hurt. But they're still fun. Like, despite the fact that they've lost Scattaboo and they've lost Malik Neighbors, they're still, like, watching Jackson Dart lead this team is still entertaining. And I think the Giants, their record doesn't really reflect how hard they play and what kind of team they are. And they may end up having a lot of losses this year, but they may still hold on to Brian Dable even into next year and say, that's still our coach. That's still the guy we want mentoring Jackson Dart and bringing up this roster. I'm interested to see, because I've changed my thought process on whether or not I'd move off Dable. I'd probably keep him at this point. We'll see what they're able to do in Chicago. For right now, this is before our game picks this weekend, but I actually like New York. I wouldn't doubt if New York gets the upset win in Chicago. I know Chicago's really starting to get their offense together, but I don't know, man. It's a good offensive line, but there's a chance guys like Brian Burns, Sexy Dexy, Thibodeau, Carter make their presence known against the Chicago Bears offensive line and come up with they might be able to come up with an upset win. I'll keep that on notice. I kind of like the Giants in this one to go on the road and get the win in Chicago. Jay says extra addition to America Hulk out NFL athlete. We need to get them all in there. And then Giants versus Bears is going to be good for one half until Dart gets a concussion late in the third. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Dart plays the whole game, man. I still can't. Dude, the way Dable rushed over to that tent is still one of the funniest things ever. Like, that is how bad Russell Wilson is. Because I've never seen a coach do that with, like, any quarterback ever. Dable loves that man and loves that man so much and absolutely despises Russell Wilson. Like, it is just absolutely does not like him even remotely. It is insane. The despise that every single person in New York has for Brian Dable. It is absurd. Moving along, but I do like the Giants in that one to come up with an upset in Chicago. Mostly because I kind of never trust Chicago fully, but I like the Giants to get a win there. Up next, a division rival matchup. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. We've seen this matchup already earlier this year. The Jaguars won 17-10 in a low-scoring defensive slugfest until Brian Thomas Jr. made the big catch at the end of the game to get the Jaguars in range to get points and take the lead. This is another game that I could also see kind of going either way. And honestly, I'm going to go battle of mid. I take that back. I think these teams are very mediocre. I don't think Houston is as bad as their record, but they're not particularly strong either. Jacksonville is not as good as their record, and they're also not particularly strong. It's just weird watching Jacksonville. They're winning games, which is different than we're used to typically from the Jaguars, at least as of late. So now they're winning games, but Brian Thomas Jr. is still not a big part of the offense, and they just traded for Jacoby Myers. I don't know. I thought the offense would be better, and it was good. Like, it was able to move the ball against the Raiders late in the game, but now you're playing a Texans defense that actually is a unit. Like, it's a good defense. It's a struggling offense, but it is a good defense. Listen, I don't know if they're going to really be able to move. It's just, but how are they going to move the ball? And is Davis Mills, Jay, you're asking, is Stroud playing? Because if he isn't, it's going to be bad with Mills. It's probably going to be bad with Mills. Now, to be fair, it wasn't that great with Stroud either. It was not good. And really, I think one of the biggest things that hits this Texans offense is that they can't run the ball as effectively without Joe Mixon. And the Laramie Tunsil trade, I remember when that happened in the offseason, I said, that's a good trade for the Commanders. What is Houston doing? Their offensive line wasn't good before. Why are you moving off your best tackle? For what? You trying to get C.J. Stroud killed? What's going on? And now he's hurt with a concussion. So I think if this was Stroud playing, I'd probably take the Texans. But as of right now, I'm going to go Jacksonville in a similar game to last time. I just don't know what to make of Jacksonville. I kind of like Liam Cohen, and I think it's going in the right direction, but I still, like if the playoffs ended today, Jacksonville's in it. But I think they lose immediately, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. But I like Jacksonville to win, but mostly because Mills is out, is this quarterback. That's the reality. It's going to be a mess. Jacksonville's defense, also been opportunistic this season, but I'm not bought in. I'm not bought in as much as, you know, some other people would be into Jacksonville's whole thing. I was bought in early in the year. I thought maybe they could win the division, but at this point, that feels like it's not going to happen. It's not impossible. It could still happen if the Colts struggle down the stretch and the Jaguars, you know, sweep them or something, but I don't know. It's like a weird, I feel nothing about this team, right? Like, I just have no real feeling. I don't love them. I don't hate them. It's just, I don't feel much towards Jacksonville, but I do think they get the win against the Texans if Davis Mills is going, which I believe he is. Jay says, CJ and Jaden both falling off needs to be studied. Did they both go to the Jamarcus Russell School of Training? Well, that's weird because they were good their rookie years. It's just weird that they have fallen off with this. I think Jaden is just because he's not fully healthy. I think that's one thing. Stroud's is so odd to me because not only was he so good his rookie year, he was like not turning it over nearly as much. And now it's like, what's happened? Like what's going on? Right? I mean, even last year when Joe Mixon was healthy and they had a good running game, it's just weird seeing Stroud. Maybe it was way more complimentary. Like, I would say it was more like, oh, CJ was playing complimentary football. But no, he was a big reason the Texans were able to turn it around so quickly. And now he's just not playing at a high level. Now we see Jaden not playing at a high level. I don't know. It might just be the weird, like, college to football transition might be made easier, but, like, keeping that balance might be harder. I'm just curious. I don't know. I'd have to look into, I'm going to have to do a study, see into what's happening with these quarterbacks just randomly falling off for whatever reason. I don't know. Well, I'll have to do a study. I'll let you know what I'm able to find when I do it. Moving along. Did we get off Twitch? What the heck, man? Oh, well. The stream will figure itself out. It'll get back to it. I hope it does, because... Wait, hold on. What the heck, man? Where's my Twitch? Where's Twitch chat? Huh? Twitch is just gone? No, it says it's streaming. Okay, then it just... Okay. Whatever. It says it's working. I'm going to take its word for it. Moving along. Those are all the 1 o'clock games. We get to the late games. Arizona Cardinals. We're playing against the Seattle Seahawks. Hold on. Got something for Marcus, and then we'll get right into it. Jaden's fall-off is his mother forcing him to be celibate wearing the chastity cage. CJ, the defense has just studied him. Dang. One guy we just studied enough he's good, but, like, dude, Jaden, like, come on. Get laid. Get laid, dude. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I mean, with CJ, maybe the defense has just figured it out. I don't know. Maybe he really... And that's weird, because Deshaun Watson had the same fall-off, too. Like, Houston quarterbacks are only allowed to be good for, like, a year or two max, and then you're just not good anymore. It's unbelievable. They should... You know what the Texans should have done? And I say this is kind of weird. It would have never happened. But there's one little what-if video. That, like, what if the NFL, whatever. Imagine Romo never retires and plays for the Texans. Like, after he gets hurt and the Cowboys have Dak, if Romo wanted to keep playing, they're like, we have Dak. Let's send Romo somewhere else. He goes to Houston for the 2017 season. Like, imagine that. I don't know. I just feel like that'd be kind of cool. Romo playing for the other state of Texas. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be interesting to see what would happen if Romo would end up playing for the Texans. Could be something. I don't know. Could be something there. You never know. I think it would have. I think that what if, although, isn't that. It's like, what if the Cowboys drafted Johnny Manziel? I think that's what the what if is. It's like, what if the Cowboys drafted Johnny Manziel and then Romo somehow ends up in Houston? Like, I don't know. It was a long-winded story. I'd have to rewatch it, but I remember that was something that had occurred. So I thought I would just share that with you today. There's a little nugget of knowledge from me today. And also, if you're enjoying the stream, do the things. Do the things. Press all the buttons. Spam them. Spam the dislike one even. I don't even care. Just hit them all. Moving along. Seattle, Arizona. This game's in Seattle. So we saw this game earlier. It was a close game between the Arizona Cardinals. That was Kyler Murray starting. Now it's Jacoby Brissett starting. They're going into Seattle. Arizona coming off a big win. Seattle against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Seattle coming off also a big win against the Washington Commanders. I don't think this is a great matchup, but it was close last time, so I kind of like it. And I like it because it's Jacoby Brissett. And I'm not saying Jacoby Brissett is good. I am just saying, I know I'm going to get more from Jacoby Brissett than I know what I am going to get from Kyler Murray, right? Kyler's been put on the IR, right? So he's probably going to be playing some Call of Duty during this game. Marvin Harrison Jr. can't be happier. He had his best performance with Jacoby Brissett. And now, we've also seen Sam Darnold. Let's be honest. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but I'm going to say what people don't want to be heard. He's playing like an MVP candidate. There's that. And, look, man, this is good. This is a good Seahawks team. I originally had them kind of a little fraudulent, but I'm thinking, you know what? JSN's playing well. If they can get the run game going, defense ain't so bad. And they just took it to Washington. They absolutely beat the brakes off him. Sam Darnold was, 17 of 17, 4 straight touchdown passes. Sam Darnold looks like the man. Sam looks like him right now. And that's why I got them sweeping Arizona and taking the win here at home. I just think Seattle is in a very good position right now with the players that they have. Mike McDonald has proven he's a good coach. And I think this is a great game for Mike McDonald and the Seahawks to start reinforcing what used to be such a great home field advantage. Can we get that home field advantage going again in Seattle? I'm curious, and I want to see. I want to see the 12s screaming. I want bring me back to the Legion of Boom days when that stadium was raucous, when that stadium was loud. That's what I want to see. With the way Seattle's playing, I mean, they're just taking it to teams right now. I like the Seahawks beating the Cardinals. I think they continue their streak. Marcus says, wow, the Texans starting quarterback history is depressing. It is, man. It's okay. Let me see if I can go back, because right now it's Stroud. Before that, it was Mills. Before that, it was Watson. Before Watson, it was Osweiler. Before Osweiler, it was a collection of, I want to say, Mallett played that year. Hoyer played that year. TJ Yates played, this is 2015, TJ Yates played that year. And I want to say Brandon Whedon played that year as well. And then before that, it was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Before that, it was Matt Schaub. And before that, 2011, it was probably TJ Yates again, getting them into the playoffs and actually getting them their first playoff win in their history. I don't really know who played for them in the aughts outside of David Carr. Because that was like their first pick ever. Or one of their first picks ever. I don't know. It was like their first quarterback. Yeah, it's a messy, messy history. It's so weird, too, because they've had some generational players. Like, they've had Watt in there. They've had Hopkins. They've got... Well, I guess that's it. J.J. Watt. Oh, Andre Johnson's another one, too. Like, they've had some generational superstars in Houston. And yet, it's just... They can't do it. They had Mario Williams there for a little while, too. Like, they haven't been able to... They haven't even made the AFC Championship game. I think they're the only team to not make a championship game in their respective conference. The only team to never get past the divisional round. They've had a short history, so it's fair, I guess. But, like, Carolina did it pretty quickly. Jacksonville did it in a shorter time. Like, you're taking a long time here, Houston. Figure it out. Matt Leinart for one game in 2011. Wow, that was in the Wayback Machine. I do not remember that. That's crazy. Oh, my gosh. What an abysmal. Like, if I know that's bad. I mean, we always talk about Cleveland's, like, awful string of quarterbacks. It's just so relevant. But there are some other teams that definitely have had some tragic quarterback play throughout their history. We've got 4 more games to preview here. Let me see what we're looking at here. Lions Commanders, ladies and gentlemen, that is likely a blowout. Not only because Marcus Mariota is starting, but because the Commanders just aren't even good when Jaden Daniels plays. They just got cooked at home by Seattle. They're about to get cooked again. I mean, it's going to be Tom Savage. Oh my gosh, Marcus. I remember Tom Savage. I remember he had won. He was, oh my gosh. I remember that, though. Why do I remember that? It was like 20 circa... Was it? I'm trying to think. It was before Mills. Maybe it was. Was it when Watson got hurt? I vaguely kind of feel like it was when Watson got hurt his rookie year. That's what I remember for the most part. But my gosh, what a Tom Savage depression, dude. Tom Savage is just the face of depression. Like, hold on. Let me see if I can get Tom Savage headshot. Yeah, it was 2017. Oh my. Dude. Dude. Look at this dude right here. Hold on, let me crop this. Like, look at this man. Look at this dude right here. Why does he look like if Case Keenum did crack? Like, I don't know. That's the only way I can describe him. Like, it looks like if you asked ChatGPT to AI generate Case Keenum, and this is what it spit out. Who else? That also looks like someone else too. I'm trying to. It looks like if you combined like Case Keenum and old Joe Flacco to make him young. That's kind of what Tom Savage. Yeah, dude, Savage at Rutgers. You know who else played at Rutgers? Evan Simon, Temple quarterback, should be a guest on Primetime with Daff and Phil soon. So excited for that. I have to. No! I'm losing everything. Everything is a mess right now. You know what? Just here. I'll fix it this way. Yoop. Wish there was like an easier way to just. I should probably have like a thing. So I don't have to do this every time. But I'll that's a not tonight problem. That's a different problem. It's a problem for another day. Poor Tom Savage. What else did he play for? Did he play for anybody else? I can only think of Savage in a Texans uniform. I know I just saw that he was on other teams, but I already... Tommy Savage just doesn't... Tommy Savage just don't get remembered like that. He was on Detroit? What? Texans, and then Saints practice squad, 49ers, Bengals, and then Lions practice squad. Wow. What a storied career for Tom Savage. Not even the Hall of, like, pretty good. Just the Hall of, hey, I remember you. Amazing. But yeah, this Lions team's gonna... Speaking of Tom Savage and the Lions, like, the Lions are probably pissed that they lost to Minnesota, and B, gonna absolutely whip the crap out of the Commanders. Like, no Marcus Mariota, they're just gonna dig their claws in. That's my guess. That's my expectation for what the Detroit Lions are gonna do. The other late game on Sunday night, the rematch between the 49ers and the Rams taking place in San Francisco. Can the 49ers sweep the Rams? This is going to be a great matchup. They're two teams that are winning. They're playing very well. When Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay square off, it's always entertaining. The question really here is, can San Francisco stay up with the Rams despite their injuries? How are the Rams going to look? I think the Rams really, honestly, probably should have beat San Francisco the last time. I just think Kyron Williams made some poor play calling along. Like, I didn't like when they hand off to Kyron Williams on 4th and 1. Obviously, Williams fumbling and not getting first downs in certain spots played a lot in contribution to that loss. As far as I know, this may be Brock Purdy back in action, but the 49ers have not been clear on that at all. So it could still be psych. You're watching the Mac attack. I like the Rams I don't think the Rams will get swept by the 49ers. I think this is a huge matchup for them. I think this would be the matchup that really puts it into, okay, it's kind of Rams-Seahawks matchup, like Rams-Seahawks for the division. I don't know again, the 49ers will go as far as McCaffrey takes them. McCaffrey was good against the Rams last time. I expect he'll be good again. That being said, if Puka Nacua is ready to play alongside Devontae Adams in that offense, this is just a Rams win to me. And Matthew Stafford, honestly, outside of maybe Jonathan Taylor for like non-quarterbacks, but Matthew Stafford deserves some consideration for MVP. And I personally think an MVP or another Super Bowl for Matt Stafford, I think puts him into that guy's a Hall of Famer. Because when you're he's like Matt Ryan's MVP, but he's not a Super Bowl champ. Matt Stafford is a Super Bowl champion, and his passing yardage numbers and all those statistics are up there incredibly high. And we're in a position now where if you're Stafford and the Rams and you find a way to win a Super Bowl this year, they're probably like at least top 5 team in the league right now. Stafford, I think, starts to get into much more rarefied air, and I want that for Matt Stafford just because I've liked him since he was his Detroit days. I remember that one season they had 9 wins, but they made the playoffs and they had like come back, and like pretty much every single win was a fourth quarter comeback that year. Like it was basically Matthew Stafford willing the team to the playoffs. He doesn't get nearly enough credit. I know he gets a lot of credit now, but I still don't think it's nearly enough for what he does. I got the Rams beating the Niners. Long story short. I think Matthew Stafford deserves, for your consideration, deserves some MVP love. 2 more games. Sunday Night Football, Steelers-Chargers. I think this is also a great matchup. And listen, this has got real opportunities for the Pittsburgh Steelers to potentially upset the Chargers. I'm feeling it. Well, Marcus, Geno. Is it Geno or Gano getting death threats now? Holy shit, Ace Ventura might be real. Wait, Gano or Geno? Geno Smith or Graham Gano? Did Graham Gano not kick well for the Giants this past week? I know that the game was a 10-point difference, but if Gano kicked poorly, then that would make a lot of sense. Poor Graham Gano. I remember the reason why Gano is such an iconic kicker for me too is because 2015 he was the kicker when the Panthers were 15-1. I don't know. That reminds me of that all the time. But I never understand that. Like, I can understand being passionate about your sport, but you're really gonna go out of your way to be sending like, yeah, buddy, you missed a kick. I don't think you deserve to live. Like, people are insane. People are nuts. These people need to relax, okay? Just seriously, go on a walk, okay? Work out. Don't be twiddling your thumbs like on your phone, dude. Like, unreal, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's blows my mind. Moving on. Steelers, Chargers. I like Pittsburgh's chances. I like it for a couple reasons. I know Herbert is great and has played great, and there's a good chance he dices up. But with the way the Steelers played last week against the Colts, and the fact that the Chargers tackles like Joe Alt, we don't know if Joe Alt's going to be fully healthy for this game. Rashawn Slater's obviously out for the year, and the Chargers' backfield has not been healthy either. It's a huge opportunity for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get another big win, to stay ahead in the division, which they basically need to. They need to win as much as they can because a cushion, listen, I understand that's what the cushion is for, but you got to be able to win this game. I think in a game that, as good as the Chargers are, the Steelers will dominate the stadium, I believe, in just how many of their fans will just show out in droves. I imagine that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a very good chance to win against the Chargers. That's why I like them on Sunday Night Football. I think they go in and get a surprise to some people. Will be a surprise. Won't be a surprise to me. Won't be a surprise to me when the Pittsburgh Steelers go in and take out the Chargers. I mean, listen, there's only so many injuries you can uphold on the offensive line and the backfield before it becomes a problem, and I think it's going to be a problem against Watt and against Alex Highsmith. Food for thought, but that's what I think is going to happen. And what's interesting now is that the defense plays very differently because Jalen Ramsey's now playing safety, which is cool, I guess, but kind of concerns me because Joey Porter Jr. is the holding merchant, the PI merchant of the NFL. And I don't know how to feel about Brandon Eccles and all these other guys playing outside corner. Like James Pierre, Brandon Eccles, I'm just a little concerned about what the outside cornerback room is going to look like for Pittsburgh moving forward. But I still think they'll be able to take down the Chargers in a shocking win. Jay in the chat, Young Hoku, hearing this like, no coach, my hamstring is tweaked, I can't kick. No, I can't kick, it's tweaked, I swear, I can't kick. He just can't handle it, man. A Young Wei-Koo also fell off. Isn't it? Kicking fall-offs are so weird to me. That's the weirdest one. Of all the fall-offs in the league, how kickers fall off is bizarre. All it takes is one missed kick, and they just lose their confidence entirely. It's so weird. Even Tucker's fall-off came out of nowhere. Right? Like, he was so consistent for so many years, and then just poof. Fell off a cliff and then got hit with these. And by the way, the second he stopped playing well, they exposed him. They exposed him through and through. They're like, oh, you're not playing well. Drop him late. Everyone send it out. All the massage parlors, we know what you were. We knew the data you were building up. Send it out now. He's not playing well. We need to find a way to get him off the roster, right? Because I feel like they would have held on to him longer until it would just actually have hurt their chances significantly. So, but my goodness, kicking fall off is so weird. It just comes out of nowhere. It's unexplainable for whatever reason. It's just inexplainable. I never get it. I think the Steelers, and that's what scares me. Like, this day Boswell falls off, I'm going to cry. Like, I'm going to cry the day Chris Boswell falls off. Because he's been so good for so long. I'm like, dang, that's going to make me sad if Bos ever falls off. I remember when our kicking fiasco was so bad, when it was like Josh Scobie and he missed like he missed like a 40-yarder against Baltimore. I'm like, dude, you're gone. Bye, see ya. And we got Bos in out of Rice, and Bos been kicking for 11 years since. Love that man. I need to get a Bos jersey. I think that's what my next jersey is. I think that'll be the one I get next. Jay Tucker wasn't getting the happy endings. He was too bottom hit. Oh my god! Wow. Sorry, Justin Tugger. Justin Tugger. Oh my gosh! And he wasn't getting it thugged anymore. He's now getting a. Oh my gosh, dude. Freaking nuts. Alright. Last one. We got the Eagles and got the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. Going to Green Bay to Lambeau to take them on. I would say this is a great matchup. Here's the thing. I only kind of like it, and here's why. I think it's just a mismatch. I think Philadelphia outclasses Green Bay. I know that sounds crazy, but with no Tucker Kraft, with struggling against Carolina, and with Philadelphia coming off a bye, it just feels like Philadelphia should go in and kick the pants off Green Bay. And especially because this is the matchup of the main tush-push team versus the team that is probably started to get the ban against the tush-push. And I guarantee Philadelphia's going to run it 10. I wouldn't doubt if they run it double-digit times in this game, just to stick it to the Packers. That's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to run it a lot. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to go into Green Bay. They're probably going to win. That's my take. I think the Eagles are going to go in and win this game, and they are going to run the tush-push down the Packers' throat for trying to get it banned. That's my expectation of what's going to happen. But I just think Green Bay, they don't have a clear identity. It's weird. Like, are they a ground and pound team with Josh Jacobs? I think they're supposed to be, but they keep trying to be this pass heavy team. And I don't think that's the idea. Like, Tucker Kraft is good, and they have some nice receivers, but I really think this team is built on the ground with Josh Jacobs, and when they get away from that, it just doesn't look as appetizing in Green Bay. It ends up causing issues. I don't know, they don't seem all that as much put together as they should be. Like, especially with the Super Bowl expectations that they had when they traded for Micah Parsons coming into the year, the momentum had kind of changed. I don't know. I just don't think Green Bay seems capable right now. They feel too young. Like, they're a very young team, but they feel too young to the point where they don't have their identity fully figured out. So with that being said, I think Philadelphia will close us out with Week 10 with a win on Monday Night Football. Of course, I'll be also streaming right before Monday to go over what happened throughout the rest of the week. So I hope you guys are here for that. I'm going to close it out. I'm just going to close it out with a couple messages. Thank you guys, of course, for watching me rant about football. I love doing it. I love ranting about sports in general. I'm hoping to kind of talk more NBA as the NBA season goes along well. It's just I haven't really been able to find a time for it just because I am so fully invested in the football season. I know Wemby's going crazy. I know the Suns are bad as always. I know OKC is, looking like potential repeat champs. The Knicks have looked good. Philadelphia, VJ Edgecombe and the 76ers have kind of come out of nowhere. The Bulls look good right now. I mean, it might just be that, that's early basketball season. Teams are just surprisingly playing well. But I will be getting into it. I will be hoping to talk more basketball as the season ramps on. And we can get into that. So I know we will 100% when we stream on Tuesdays, Taff and I. So that's for that. That's my message there. I will be here. We'll be here at sometime this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, so make sure you have notifications on, whether you watch on YouTube, whether you watch on Twitch. What? No, you're capping. Jay, no. Mac who? Mac Jones? You're lying. Jay, you're lying. Don't hit me with that. Mac who? Mac Jones? You know. Jay, you can't do this to me. There's no way Mac Jones got cut. Mac who? Jay, Mac who? Mac McClung? I saw Mac McClung's name in the... Why is he in the box of shame? Omar Khan? Because he didn't trade for anybody, Jay. Omar Khan didn't trade for anybody at the deadline. He should have gone after Waddle. He didn't. I'm mad at him for it. Should have tried for Jalen Waddle. They got Jalen Phillips for a third, the Eagles did. Omar Khan should have made an offer for Jalen Waddle. We could have gotten him. Yeah. No, we could have. Wait, Mac was... Wait. So wait, no Mac was waived or no Mac wasn't waived? I'm confused. I don't know which Mac... Is it Mac McClung? Okay, McClung. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was going to say, like, why would the 49ers cut Mac? But yeah, I mean, that's every time. Mac McClung always is getting waived by somebody. Because, oh, they brought on more? They brought on what? Okay, I'm a little annoyed that they cut McClung just to bring in Morris. They brought in Monte Morris. Instead, Indiana, what are we doing? McClung at least could maybe be entertaining. Why are we signing why are we bringing in Monte Morris? I mean, I get that they're bad, but like, dude, this is ridiculous. Come on. Just looking at the NBA standings, just so we can talk about it for a second, and then I'll let you guys go. The East is okay. So 76ers have kind of come down back to earth a little bit, but it's Bulls in the 1. Bulls are 6-1. That to me is insane. Pistons 6-2. Pistons look very good. Oh my gosh. Lakers, Rockets are up there. Trailblazers is interesting despite the... It would be kind of funny to see the Trailblazers make it despite Chauncey Billups getting fired. That's kind of funny. Phoenix in the 10. Yeah, we kind of suck. Mavs at 2-6 though. With Cooper Flag is certainly a big shock. And also, another thing. Let me talk Pelicans. The Pelicans, I can't believe what's going on right now. New Orleans giving up an unprotected first for Derek Queen, and now they're complete booty cheek. And the worst part of it is that Zion is finally back. The second Zion is back, New Orleans is just even worse somehow. Like, it's... I can't. There's so much NBA stuff. Oh my god. I gotta find a time to do it. Maybe Fridays will be like a little NBA jam sesh. We'll do an NBA recapping the week kind of thing. Let me know if that's something you guys want on Fridays. Maybe I'll play a game and we'll talk. Maybe I'll play like a video game because I've been playing a lot of Minecraft lately. So maybe it'll be Minecraft plus NBA chat. Like, I don't know. That might be something we look to do on Fridays. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I'll just read this last one. The Great White Hope. Give him some run. He could be like Lynn. Yeah, give Mike McClung his Jeremy Lin arc. Give him that chance. Nobody wants to do that. Put him on like... It's got to be on like a semi, like, either team that's doing well or team that's very popular. Like, I wouldn't doubt it if... Put him in Milwaukee. Get like a Milwaukee run. Pair him with Giannis. See what happens there. I feel like that would be like an interesting fit for Mac. I don't know. Maybe I'm spitballing. But I'd like to see that happen. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Do the thing. Hit the like. Hit the share button. Tell people about the show. Tell people that it's pretty good and it gets you moving. I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna have some dinner. I'm gonna do all that. I'm probably gonna play some Minecraft and do some video editing all in the next 4 hours. So I'm gonna have a busy night tonight. But thank you guys that's coming. Thank you guys as always for coming. Let's just end it there. Thank you guys always for coming. Thank you guys always for watching, for tuning in. Makes me really excited to do this on Thursdays, on Mondays. Gets me excited to get out of my job, come home, and just talk sports and rant. Makes me very excited, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys that shows up, comments, chats sports with me. Always enjoying it. I'm probably not this week, but maybe next week I'll look into doing something for Friday for NBA. And then, of course, this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, we will be on to talk the pregame, the NFL Week 10. So make sure you have notifications turned on so you guys know when that's happening. I appreciate you guys for watching. Here is the final look out of the tier list that has been concocted for how good I expect the games will be this weekend. It actually looks like a pretty good slate overall. Very excited to see NFL Week 10 as we're ramping up towards Thanksgiving and the like. So, thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, I will see you guys next time for another episode of either Free Refill, whether it is Free Refill, Prime Time with Taff and Phil, or the NFL pregame show. I will be here. And I appreciate each one of you guys who tunes in. Enjoy your evening.